Ladies and gentlemen, now it's been just under 2 weeks since the global launch of The Strongest Hero, and I love this game. I'm absolutely addicted. I've literally spent like every single day, at least 50% of my day since this game came out, dedicated to grinding out 2 accounts on this game. I got my whale account, my free-to-play account. I'm in love with all of the characters. I think so much thought and design and just effort has gone into making every character like really interesting and very unique. And I think the foundations for this game at global launch are so strong for what they could do moving forward. I literally see this game, if it is managed well, lasting for like 5 to 10 years. There are hundreds of characters that they can add, so many different modes of gameplay, so much content, so many bosses, and the technology that they've got to do solo stuff, boss fights, work with other players, play against other players is incredible for the launch of a game. I think this game has limitless potential, and I'm a very big advocate of that. However, I think there are some big problems with this game at the moment, and if these problems aren't resolved very quickly, they're going to turn into huge issues. Because I've been playing mobile video games now for about 8 years, and 5 years I've been doing it full-time professionally. I have played so many mobile games, I have watched other communities as well, and I know how the full cycle plays out. Number one is players get frustrated. Number two is players start making memes and venting on Reddit. Those memes quickly become very savage, 1-star review bombs, and boycotts if issues aren't resolved. And that is a very messy cycle, and it's a cycle that I just don't want to see happen to this game, but at the same time, I feel like we're not getting the level of communication that we need from the developers of this game. We really need a transparent level of communication about some big issues that are rising. As many of us kind of get into the mid-game of My Hero, The Strongest Hero, it becomes very apparent there are some very big problems with the way that this game is structured. And I'm going to talk about what I believe are the 5 big issues today. So number one, we've got energy. Energy is by far the biggest issue in my opinion. This game has a terrible energy system. Number two is a huge lack of free-to-play coins and summons. They dry up really, really quickly, and free-to-play are quickly kind of put in this dilemma of do they want to progress and level their account and level up their characters, or do they want to save their coins up for summons? And in, like, you know, most people's case, man, they want the new characters, and there's the All Might banner at the moment. We know we've got Endeavor coming, Stain, Shigaraki, Dabi, and loads of additional characters have been data mined. And currently, the free-to-play reward system, dude, is very, very dry once you get to the mid-game, and proving to be a massive turn-off for so many players. But also, on top of that, point number 3 is a huge over-monetization of content and events. And we'll talk about that and kind of what it entails, but pretty much everything that you play in the game has some sort of element where if you pay, you get much better rewards for doing it. And I feel like that is a terrible way to structure content moving forward. I think there is the right time in gacha games to make sales and milk whales and provide good value for dolphins, but I don't think monetizing absolutely everything, just like to the roof, man, is a good way to go. I think that's a very unsustainable way, and also makes the game feel a little bit grubby as well. I really, really don't like that, and we'll talk about that. Number 4 is the card summoning system is terrible. It feels really, really bad, and you need so many additional copies of cards if you really want to max them out as well. But I spent like what was it, $700 the other day on 6-star card summons, and I got like 3 6-star cards, and it didn't really like benefit me that much, man. The whole experience felt really, really bad, and also the process of combining cards and getting unlucky and like what is it, losing like 3 cards feels really, really bad as well. But I think the card system is just, it's not a fun experience so far, man. The more I get into it, the more I hate it, man. It's just like a massive grind, a massive money sink, and as a whale that spent very close to about $5,000 US on this game already. It made me like want to stop spending, and that is not what you want from one of your biggest whales playing the game. And I know like many other whales as well in my guild Zenith, because I have been playing this game with like some massive whales from Seven Deadly Sins, all who've spent thousands of dollars, are getting massively turned off by the card summoning system as well. And point number 5 is bad server performance in many regions for PvP and co-op. For example, for some reason, they tried to group America and England together in terms of the server system. So if I were to naturally download this game from my App Store, literally PvP is completely unplayable, and so is most of co-op as well. The experience for so many players, depending on their geographical location, is close to unplayable, and they are massively turning off a lot of customers. Again, this is something they need to sort on the back end. But anyway, let's start with the biggest issue, at least in my opinion, which is energy. Energy is a massive problem. Energy in this game doesn't regenerate very fast. There are like a few ways to get it throughout the day via your dorm, and also the the free, like, lunch collection as well. But aside from that, energy is consumed very quickly. And you've got so much stuff that you need to grind out as a progressing player. You've got the story, you've got solo events. You also need to grind out a mixture of character upgrades via the supply. So you need experience. You also ideally want the card upgrades as well. You get to a certain point as well, kind of like mid-40s, where credits actually start becoming a really big issue as well. So I'm finding like a massive need for those as well. And then you've also got chips on top of that. And if you are a new free-to-play player, again, you're racing toward Aizawa, trying to get that double S hero and trying to focus in on a certain character to farm the hero trial shards for there. So there's all of this stuff that you need energy for, but if you're free to play, you can barely get any of it on a daily basis. And on my free to play account, I'm now kind of at a point where I don't want to spend any coins on energy. I'm past level 39, because I need those coins for summons. You know, if I want to get like the god tier characters on the banners that are dropping, you know, you can't be chucking your coins into the stamina refills to farm out additional stuff on a daily basis. And because of that, it's just creating this absolutely huge resource gap between free-to-play and spenders in this game. And it's also like a massive turnoff for free-to-play. One of the biggest things I got from an interview from the previous CEO of Kabam, who run Marvel Contest of Champions, is the absolute worst thing you can do in a free-to-play game is allow free-to-play players to get to that point where they're like, oh, there's nothing I can do. I guess I better close the game and play something else. And if you're free-to-play, that is a very common experience on a daily basis. There is other stuff you can do in the game. You've still got like arena PvP, co-op battle. You also have, additional like card raids and stuff that come up, but all of that stuff is over very quickly, and you're left with this feeling of just like, you know, it's very lackluster progression because you can't really get much done on a daily basis. And this is something that personally massively turned me off from playing Genshin Impact. Like, I got to kind of the mid game of Genshin Impact and I was just logging in for like 10 minutes a day, dumping my stamina and realizing that I couldn't really do anything else meaningful. So stamina is a huge problem, and you're starting to see it now, like all over Reddit, all over YouTube comments, like various content creators coming out, even from like the first few days, because stamina actually becomes a very big issue very quickly, and it's been somewhat mitigated, the size of the issue, by like these free like 300 stamina packs, because when you have those, again, you have like more stamina to farm the stuff you need on that specific day. But at the same time, dude, again, there is so much stuff you need to farm, and as you level up, there's only more stuff that you need to farm as well. So the deeper I've got into the game, again, I'm agency level 45 now, just the worse and worse it gets. There is so much stamina you need, and the current system is barely about 20% on the base of what you actually want to do and play on a daily basis. And I just think the biggest mistake you can make is just getting players to that point where they want to close the game and play something else because they don't have anything meaningful to grind or work toward. The stamina system is just absolutely screwed in my opinion, and yeah, it just needs a big overhaul. So some solutions potentially Essentially, for the energy situation, again, there's lots of ways that they can go about it. They could reduce energy costs, but still keep the rewards and experience the same. They can add an energy refill to every summon, and also backlog that and send out energy refills to the player base as well, so that free-to-play players, again, are focused on summoning and pulling the exciting new characters that they get to enjoy in this game, which I think is a very good move moving forward. But also, they could remove energy on the daily and shard stages as well, because, you know, it doesn't really feel that great to, like, dump all your energy into the supply to farm character XP when you need so much, like, leveling characters from like 70 onwards. Again, it's just like a massive energy sink on a daily basis. But also, if you don't focus on grinding XP, then you fall massively behind and you can't do the Aizawa mission. So as a progressing player, if you're free to play, like, pretty much like 80% of your energy just goes into auto farming the XP stage for character XP, and it just really isn't that much of a fun daily gameplay experience. And it's just, you know, very stressful and just, like, very off-putting for new players. It's just not a good way to kind of get people into the game, get people excited about playing, at least in my opinion. And then also on top of that as well, again, when it comes to the shard stages, you know, these shouldn't cost energy. These should be free as well. There's just way too much stuff to farm on a daily basis, and, like, pretty much no energy available unless you're wailing out. And even then, man, I still fall very short of the energy that I need on a daily basis. It is a horrible, horrible system, and I think probably the biggest turnoff for the game currently. So on to point number 2, which is a huge lack of free-to-play summons and coins. The first few days that you play this game, early game, and also, like, doing super co-op battle initially and kind of building up there, there's, like, a decent chunk of stuff. It's not amazing, but, like, it's a decent chunk to get you a little bit interested in the game. But mid-game, my god, does it dry up so much, man. I'm just scraping the bottom of the barrel for coins on my free-to-play account. And although I've been grinding, like, every single day and also trying to use the least amount of energy refills possible to also get Aizawa, I barely have enough for 4 multis on the All Might banner. And on my massive whale account, there were like 4 rotations, dude. I had to go to the full 100 to guarantee that I get this, man. And I know there are some people who have been super lucky on this banner. They get All Might in the first multi, but there are also many, many people that have been massively shafted by this banner. And with the drop rate on this banner, we got 1.2%, so that's 1 in every 83. And from every banner like this, if there is no way for free-to-play to actually grind out events in the game and get the guaranteed character, it creates, like, this really big divide in the community of winners and losers. There are going to be people that get All Might, and there are going to be people that don't get All Might. And it's just a really bad experience where you're a free-to-play player, you're working incredibly hard to try and get this brand new character, and you've done everything that you possibly can. You've managed to save up a little bit before as well, but there's no possible way that you can even get close to getting the pity. Although I am a massive whale, I do have the opinion that it is absolutely essential for any healthy gacha game to provide an interesting, fair, and also exciting experience for free-to-play players. But the mid-game experience, man, is very dry at the moment. And also, I feel like every free-to-play player, it's more than reasonable to be able to obtain 1 copy of the character on every single banner, considering this game's progression system and how it really works if you want to fully max out a character. Because the thing is, in order to max out a character to SSS+, you need, for an S tier hero, 12 copies of that character. So yeah, there is just an absolutely colossal difference between a free-to-play player that's absolutely sweated their tits off, they've ground out like every single coin available in the game, not that there's really that many in the current state of the game, and got lucky enough to summon on All Might and has 1 copy, versus my, like, mega whaled, you know, 12 copy SSS+ All Might with cards as well. And cards are a thing, man, we gotta talk about on top of that. But yeah, there's still such a huge difference that I don't think it's anywhere close to unreasonable to almost guarantee that free-to-play have a way every single new character banner to obtain 1 copy of the character when you need 12 in reality to fully max it out. Like, I don't think that's unreasonable at all, especially considering that it's 12 plus, like, the cards as well, which you need like 7 of. So yeah, it really is ridiculous, man, the requirements to like fully maxed out characters in this game. But yeah, there needs to be a fairer and better summoning system for free to play. We need more coins, and the pity being 100 is just like way too over the top. I think for the price of the coins as well, 70 is a much fairer pity. I think 100, you kind of take in the piss, turn a lot of people off. Again, you're creating this like winners and losers mentality, and like kind of making players quit on banners, dude. You know, there are so many people that are going to be mega hyped for All Might. That, you know, if they don't pull them on this banner and be like, you know what, fuck this game, dude, the banner's shit, like, I've got no way to actually play the game and get this character, you know, it's just, it doesn't create a good experience for players. And when you've just launched and you're less than, 2 weeks old, this is not the experience you want to be giving out to people that you want invested in your game for years and years to come. Because if this is a game that truly wants to go the distance of 5 to 10 years, you understand the value of having free-to-play players that are really invested in your game. Because right now, you know, it's coronavirus, man. It's a global pandemic. Like, people are flat broke for all sorts of reasons. They still want to chill out and play a video game, but maybe in a few years' time, hey, they're going to be like absolutely rolling. Maybe like life, you know, gives them gives them lemons, and they're just absolutely balling, and they just start massively wailing out on the game. And I've seen this happen in many other games that I played. Marvel Contest of Champions, I know a lot of free-to-play people, maybe in college, then graduated, got a pretty nice job, and then suddenly they've turned into like mega whales, or they've got very fortunate via one circumstance or another. But it's very important to kind of foster that community, keep players coming back, get people excited about the new characters as well, and not just think, oh, you know, Endeavor's coming next week, oh, only if I'm spending hundreds of dollars on this game am I actually going to be able to get excited about Endeavor. Everybody should be excited about the new characters, because everybody should have a really good chance, if not a guaranteed way, to pull at least one copy of that character in a game that requires 12 copies to fully max out that character, plus cards and everything else on top. So yeah, I think it's very important that we see more coins, more rewards, more summons for free-to-play players, and just a bit of a fairer system. Because there are the systems in place, they can still make massive money, they can milk whales, they can milk dolphins. Again, many people, for the flex and fun, will want to go double S or triple S or triple S plus cards. So, you know, there's just like so many additional monetization avenues for milking those whales that they don't need to fuck over free-to-play in the process of doing that. There's no reason to. And all it's going to do is just kill your game's player base in the longer term if you don't give a fairer treatment to the people that are working hard playing your game and just, you know, being an active part of the community moving forward. I think it's very important that again, that group of players is catered to, and like it's an exciting experience. It's meant to be a game, it's meant to be a fun time. So like, you know, lean into that and really embrace it. Now, the next thing is over monetization of content and events. If you've had a look at the friggin' daily tab, dude, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about here. There is a monetization plan, a bundle for absolutely everything. What's that? You want to level up, but you want to get 10 times the rewards? Well, buy this card, and you can do. You want monthly card? Well, you can buy that. You want a weekly card? You can buy that. You want to get additional rewards for completing the chapters and the story? Well, you can buy the additional rewards there. What's that? You want to get additional rewards for operations? Yeah, you can buy the cards and get 1,000 coins and a random 5 or 6 star support card. What's that? You want to do virtual battlegrounds? Well, you know, you can have the peasant free rewards, or if you want the really good rewards, which have a chance to give you a 6-star card, well, you can buy those. So, you know, everything here is just goddamn monetized, man. It would be nice if on the side events, you know, they weren't absolutely monetized in everything, man. I can completely understand, you know, you want to do like a weekly, a monthly card that's really good value in terms of like people that are spending less on this game or have less of a budget, so they can put in, you know, a certain amount and feel like they're really getting a lot back from the game. But when you're literally putting a card on absolutely everything, man, it just feels really, really scummy to do, and I don't like it moving forward. It just leaves a very bad taste in my mouth. I'd like the content rewards to be the same for you know, everybody that can do the content. And if half of these friggin' battle passes or tokens rewards were actually on the base, that would probably fix a good amount of problem too, which is free-to-play players not having enough coins for the summons. Because, like, look at here, you can see where all the additional coins are for, like, leveling up and doing story chapters and all this stuff, man. They're just putting mad stacks on all of these battle passes here. So yeah, I just prefer they, like, didn't add this stuff on for events and just, like, put better bundles in the shop, but instead made the event rewards, like, better for everybody. Like, that is what I want. The over monetization, I think, this early on the game is just giving me a bad vibe, man. I think they need to tone it back a little bit. They shouldn't be heavily monetizing like the weekly event Virtual Battleground. This should be an exciting thing that you get to do every single day, and you have the really good rewards for playing and not spending an additional, you know, $20 to buy this card or whatever it was. So yeah, it's just crazy, man. It just seems like they're going way too overboard with the additional monetization features for like every single aspect of gameplay. So yeah, make like the content rewards fair and exciting for everybody, and not just the people that are spending additional money to buy the cards for these events as well. But also on top of that, bad card summoning system. I think the card summoning system, dude, in this game is the worst, dude. It's really bad. I literally, like, I was like, why was I playing this game the other day, man? After summoning on the cards, it was a terrible experience. That was like the first time I've pulled back from this game and been like, did I really just like spend that amount of money on the cards? Because I summoned about $700 and I got 2 copies, man. I got 2 copies of the All for One card, and I got 1 individual All Might card as well. And it just felt terrible. It felt so bad because the card summons are exactly the same price as the regular character banner summons. And the regular character banner summons are very expensive. So there's just no way for free-to-play to even think about summoning on this banner, dude. And the cards are like ridiculously overpowered as well. They are really good. But also the pity system of having like a guaranteed 6-star every 100 attempts when the drop rate on a 6-star card is like 3%. Doesn't really make too much sense for the pity on this banner. I think the cost needs to go down to like 100 coins. There need to be more free card summons available, because again, you need so many cards in this game, but you also need so many additional copies to upgrade them, because there's such a big difference between like a level 1 card and a level 4 card. And again, you need 7 of that card in total to get the maximum benefit from it. So yeah, it really is ridiculous, man. Like, if you think that the character summon system is bad in this game with 12 copies, in my opinion, the card system, dude, is like 5 times worse. It really just feels absolutely terrible to summon on. And the final thing is there's just bad server performance in many regions, you know? A lot of people, I've read so many comments on Twitter, on YouTube, on Reddit about these terrible experiences in PvP. And if you're from England, if you go onto NA PvP, dude, it is literally unplayable. There's like 400, 500 ping, nothing is connecting. And especially for PvP to really take off in this game, again, you need that real-time connection and interaction with your opponent. Because if it's laggy and clunky and just like teleporting all over the place without any reason, it just really isn't a good experience. So yeah, that's something they need to reevaluate and address a little bit more. And I'm sure server performance stuff is going to be coming in the future. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that, man, because again, every single day I read about God, it's got to be about 20 comments about how they just literally can't play so many aspects of this game due to like terrible server issues, and then they can't even do the solo stuff because there's like no energy available as well. So yeah, I feel like this game is really hitting a massive mid-game hump, and the frustration is building, and I really don't want to get to the point where everybody is just like up in arms. I'd really like if the developers were to reply to the community, set out a roadmap moving forward, and manage expectations of what we're going to see done, implemented, and improved in the next like 2 to 3 months. I think from the the dev standpoint, that is the best thing that they can possibly do now, because if the developers just ignore the community, then again, it's going to escalate even further. If people can't talk to the developers, they're going to yell at the developers. And how do they do that? Well, they start review bombing the App Store, dude. And I'll tell you what, if you want to see the ugliest review bomb ever, check out the 7 Deadly Sins boycott earlier this year, dude. The App Store went down from, like, I think it's like 4.7, 4.8 to like 1.6 in like half a day. It was just absolutely ridiculous. I'm not sure it's even like probably fully recovered since then, but also check out the earnings as well, man. Netmarble had a massive spike down because so many people quit, so many people were fed up, so many people decided to dial back their spending because they didn't have any faith and confidence in the developers moving forward. And this is like a big thing you need to do if you want the game going for a very long time, is you need to install your community with confidence that, hey, you're going to listen to feedback, you're going to communicate effectively with the players of this game, and also address the biggest issues that a lot of people are having at the moment. We can't just stick our head in the sand and pretend this game is absolutely perfect, because it has some really big issues, and if these issues aren't resolved, again, everything is going to escalate significantly further, and I don't want to get to that point, man. That point is always such a headache, so I'd really appreciate, again, if the developers listen to the community. Again, this is just my personal feedback. There is so much feedback to read from various other YouTubers on Reddit every single day, and there's a lot of opinions forming, especially about energy, the free-to-play experience, that they really need to take on board quickly, or else this is going to blow up. There's going to be a huge negative situation, and again, I don't want that for the game, and I don't want that for the community, because they're always very, very messy to deal with. So yeah, I hope the developers can kind of step up and resolve some of these issues, and also effectively communicate, you know, what they want to do, their thoughts on certain stuff. If the development team are open to doxing themselves, it would be great if we had some public community managers, a face of the game that was, you know, running the EU American version, that we can actually communicate and talk to, that would come forward and say, okay, look, you know, we're happy to do this, we can change this, we can buff this, but we're not going to do this, and just like provide the reasons for it. You know, we want that open, honest communication, and you get a lot of respect for it. You definitely get a huge amount of respect for it. So I just hope we can have some really positive change moving forward. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comments section below, what are some of your biggest issues when it comes to the strongest hero currently. Again, I just want to end by saying I love this game. I think this game has so much potential to be this just incredible thing that grows and evolves for the next 5 to 10 years. But at the moment, it's just launched. There are some big problems with it, and I think those problems need to be resolved sooner rather than later. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for watching my rambling today, and if you did enjoy it, please do smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Take care, and I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day.
You are not subscribed to the whale sin of spending? Who decided that? Subscribe now, or enjoy the bitter taste of regret.